You're listening to Mind the Gap, a podcast about science, skepticism, and trivia, bridging the gap between your minds and everything else. I'm Alyssa Chenery.
I'm Mackie Drew.
And I'm Keegan Gwydolin.
And today we'll have some fun talking about games on our Season 3 special, Life's a Game. Today each of us are going to offer up some trivia and then a quiz after our respective sections. And I am nominating Keegan to go first.
With pleasure. So I will start us off with a brief discussion of a very, very interesting and very, very complex topic called game theory. And game theory is the study of strategic decision making. Specifically, it's a branch of mathematics which models conflict and cooperation between intelligent, rational decision makers, i.e. human beings. It's a pretty complex mathematical topic, and a lot of it goes over my head, but it has been exemplified in a few very simple games. So I'll describe one, which is called the prisoner's dilemma, and you might have heard of this before. But imagine two prisoners, Mackie and Alyssa, and both are talking to the cops. And the cop says to the prisoners, "If you both stay silent, I'll put both of you away for 1 year. But then I'm going to take you into separate rooms, and if one of you betrays the other and, gives us evidence and testifies against them, then the person who betrayed goes free, and the other one gets 3 years. But if you both betray each other, you'll both serve 2 years. So, if we think of it, Mackie stays silent, and Alyssa stays silent, they both serve 1 year. Mackie betrays Alyssa, Mackie goes free, and Alyssa does 3 years. Vice versa, if Alyssa betrays. And then if they both betray, it's 2 years. So in this game, there is a certain strategy associated, right? Everyone wants to have the minimum amount of prison time. And the only way to have 0 is if you betray, but your opponent doesn't. And of course, the key to this game is that neither of you know what the other one is going to do. So, mutual cooperation in this case is better than mutual defection. But there's always that temptation of freedom, right? So if you both cooperate with each other, then you'll both only serve 1 year, which is the lowest you can serve without going free. So there's that element of risk involved. This game can also be played in iterated fashions, where you play more than once, right? So each prisoner remembers what happened in the previous round. So you might both cooperate in the first round, and then, with each other, so you both stay silent, and so that's good. And one of you, say Mackie, says, all right, that worked out well, I'm going to do the same thing again, and hope that she does the same thing again. Meanwhile, Alyssa says, all right, he's going to, I found out that he's good at cooperating, I'm going to betray him and get free. And so she does that, but now Mackie remembers that she did that. And unfortunately, this can quite quickly degenerate into just, both people betraying, because that's the safest course, right? I mean, it's not the best, but it's not the worst either. It's sort of the middle ground is when you both betray each other.
Yeah, it's the only way you can it's the only way you can verify that you're going to ever get free, right? But you make sure that they are always
it's the only way you have a chance of getting free.
And I think more importantly, it's it's stopping them from getting away with, pulling the wool over your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
You're stopping them from one-upping you. I think that's something people would be concerned about, because if you got tricked, then you're going to feel really bad.
Mm-hmm. Which adds that emotional aspect, adds a whole new dimension to the game as well. Like what you're talking about is basically feeling sort of almost humiliated. Yeah. But so this, you may be asking yourself at this point that, what's the use of this? But, while it's an abstract concept, the principles of how you make decisions in this model and others can be applied to a variety of fields. And it was originally developed for economics, to understand the behavior of firms, markets, consumers, and stuff like that in a very complex relationship where, you have these different consequences that have effects on multiple players in the sort of game of economics. But it can also be applied to evolutionary biology, and someone won a Nobel Prize for applying it to evolutionary biology, wherein the rationality required to play the game is replaced by evolutionary forces. And evolution naturally selects an optimal set of behaviors. And in biology, this is called an evolutionarily stable strategy. So in the prisoner's dilemma, the evolutionarily stable strategy would be mutual betrayal, right? Because there's less risk involved. However, another stable strategy could be cooperation. It's just harder to get there. So, for instance, if we think about the prisoner's dilemma, it gives us an idea why why cooperation can be evolutionarily stable, especially if we're talking about an iterated version, where we can remember who was nice to us in the past and who betrayed us in the past, and base our decisions on our past experiences. And that sort of gets to why we, like you were saying, Alyssa, you've been friends with Mackie, so you feel confident in assuming that he's going to cooperate, and you feel confident, therefore, in cooperating with him, which is why we tend to trust people who are not strangers and distrust people who are strangers. Yeah. This can also be applied to some more biological concepts like the stability of the 1-to-1 sex ratio, which was something that I was very interested in. I always sort of wondered why all of the sex ratios of all these animals gravitated towards a 1-to-1 ratio, right? 1 male per 1 female. And it's really down to game theory because, you think of a population where there's slightly more males than there are females, then some of those males will probably not get to mate with those females. And so but all the females will be mated with, so the pendulum will swing towards having more females because they do better. And then, there will be eventually too many females and not all of them will get to mate, and then it'll swing back towards males, and then
that
so
is
on.
clever.
Yeah.
I never thought of it in terms of game theory, but it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it does. So I really like applying game theory to stuff like this.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Keegan, I think I might be wrong, but if I can ask, I heard somewhere that the 1-to-1 sex ratio isn't exact in humans, that slightly more men are born and that slightly more men die in infancy.
Oh, yes. That is... so the idea is that there's more males are fertilized. So you'd have, if you were to just base it on fertilized eggs, it would be about 70% males. But the problem is males are much more likely to die either in infancy or much more often they are miscarried.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Well, there you go. I know.
So that's actually a good attribute where you can play with this. So rather than just dealing with X and Y chromosomes, which would always be half and half, you can deal with certain attributes that lead to the survival rates of the different zygotes. So.
And of course, evolutionary pressures don't really care about all that technicality. They just care about who's reproducing and in what ratios. Mm-hmm. So if we hypothetically ensured that all fertilized eggs were carried to term and ended up reproducing, then we would suddenly have this huge gender skew. Mm-hmm. And the pendulum would eventually swing back, right? We'd have way more males.
It would necessarily compensate.
Yes, exactly. So the compensation is built in evolutionarily. But of course, that doesn't stop, humans from messing with it. You can imagine in places like Japan and China, I believe, since there's such a emphasis and a desire to have male offspring, that the gender ratio is being skewed simply by our influence. People aborting female fetuses and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Mhm.
So there's a whole bunch of human factors that play into it. But it has to swing back eventually because it's not stable. And on that note, I'd like to give you guys a quiz. Okay, guys. This quiz I've got for you is called Board Game Theory.
All right.
And so this will be a pretty standard quiz on... Basically, I'll describe a board game, and you'll have to name it. The first one to name it gets the win.
Okay.
But the twist here is in the scoring. So, there is a pot of 10 points per question. The winner decides how to allocate those points. The loser must agree for the points to be distributed. If they don't agree, then no points go to anyone.
Oh, I know this. This is the dictator game, isn't it?
What's that?
This is the dictator game, isn't it? This is another one of the game theory games.
Oh, yeah. It's another game theory game. Yes.
Okay. Cool. All right. This sounds fun.
So, of course, the trick is that you have to, make something that's reasonable or,
I know the averages for Canada for this game. I think I can handle this.
Good.
All right.
Question one. First of all, does anyone have any questions before we start?
I'd just like to say that I'm not very good at board games, so don't judge me.
They're all pretty mainstream.
Okay. All right. Okay. Wait. Do you have to finish the description, or we can chime in?
I'll say go when you can say it.
Okay.
Okay.
Do not pass go. All right, sorry.
Question one. This game is named after the situation in which there is only one provider of a particular product. Go.
Monopoly.
Mackie gets the points.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Alyssa.
How do you want to distribute the points?
I'm going to be generous here, and I want to give you 3 points. Does that sound fair? 3 points.
I mean, I'll take it, but I don't understand why you think that's fair.
Oh, no, it's plenty fair. What do you mean? Okay, what if I give you 4 points? Now I only got 6.
No, I don't mean it that way. I mean, I think that we should do... Well, I'll take it.
You want to go 50-50?
Nope, I'll take it.
Okay.
So what is it?
I got...
7 and 3?
I got 3. 7. Tim.
7 and 3. All right. Okay, question 2.
All right.
This game is named after a group of pioneers arriving on an island.
Settlers of Catan?
Yes.
Sorry,
I forgot to say go. That's my fault. But I'll give it to you because I don't think Mackie knew that.
No, I didn't know that was the story. I didn't know there was a story at all.
Well, that's the idea, right? They're settling a new island.
Well, I guess so.
All right, Alyssa, how do you want to distribute the points?
In keeping with your proposal, Mackie, I will give you 3 and take 7 for myself. How's that sound?
No,
Don't be a douche. Don't do it. You're gonna regret it.
Give me 4.
No, why would I do that?
Because
tit for tat is the best strategy.
Because you can get 6
Keegan
or
forgot
nothing.
to mention this, but it is an element of no. I won't.
You won't
that.
take it.
You're gonna regret this.
I'm
gonna let you win the rest of. No.
I could just never give you points. There's a flaw in this game.
That's fine.
No. Okay, I'll take the 30%. I mean.
Okay.
I'll take 3.
7 and 3.
Yeah.
Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Question 3, and wait for the go this time.
Oh, sorry.
This game is named after an extreme weather event. Go.
Hurricane, earthquake, lightning strike,
pandemic, mousetrap, extreme weather event. Wait. Jenga.
It's less. It's less a board game, but still a game.
Tornado.
Cards Against Humanity.
This is really tough. Extreme weather event. How extreme?
Very. You had it. You almost had it, Mackie.
Tornado. Tornado.
Global warming. I don't know.
What's
that
another
elephant
name?
where
Another
the
name
elephant
for a
with
tornado.
Tsunami? Oh,
Twister.
cyclone.
Twister.
Twister.
Ah! Oh my god. I guess it's kind of played on a board. That's interesting. I never thought of it as a board game, but yeah.
Mhm.
It's just a big board.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a flimsy board. All right. How do you want to allocate the points?
All right, Alyssa. So,
Yep.
here's my thought. Wait, how many questions are there, Keegan?
I don't think I should reveal that.
Ah, shit.
You should.
Well-
It would make it so much more interesting.
No, because here's the problem. With game theory,
You don't know when the game's going to end.
if you know when the game's going to end, then
It changes your strategy at the end.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
That's the point.
So you always want to defect at the end, and then it's an infinite regression, and then everyone defects the whole time. So I'm not going to say.
Oh.
Now,
all right.
Alyssa, let me just present you with some of my reasoning last round.
Okay.
I was going to make you have no points. That was my plan.
Oh, you were you? You were being generous?
But because I could have won. I could have never given you points and that would be fine. And I gave up that victory for fairness, okay?
Okay.
So you
Okay,
know I'm
I'll
pretty
accept
fair,
that.
all right? Okay?
Sure you are.
Now the odds have gotten pretty extreme here. Okay?
Mhm.
So I'm thinking if I give you 2 points, you're still ahead of where you are right now.
No, Mackie, here, let me
And you
counter
can
with
s-
something.
And you
We've
can still
established what is fair. In fact, I allowed you to establish what is fair. And that really is me giving you all of the power. So now you owe it to me to keep this standard of fair that you have developed, or I am going to screw with you.
No. Here's the thing. I was setting a standard based on my sheer generosity. Because
You're right, and I let you do that, even though you are phrasing your selfishness as generosity.
No.
That's fine.
No.
I don't mind.
The average Canadian
you better-
value for the dictator game is 20% to the to the other
I
person.
think Canadians are a lot more generous than you give them credit for. Me for prime minister. No.
Okay. I'm going to this time go for 3 and 7 again.
All right.
Okay, I'll accept that.
How boring. All right. Ready for question 4?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Remember to wait for the go. This game is named after something you find at the scene of a crime. Go.
Clue.
Clue. Alyssa gets it.
I don't think that's a board game. That's like a way of life.
All right. How do you want to allocate
with
the points?
our accepted fare of 3 to 7, Mackie, because I'm not an ass.
So you're saying 3 to 7?
Yep.
Unacceptable. Give me 4.
Ooh.
No.
No?
No, I'm not going to do it.
All right, Alyssa, you get nothing.
Is that
Okay.
it?
Yeah, that's the final verdict.
Wow. Nothing.
Hmm.
Okay.
All right.
Question 5. This game is the most popular board game in the world. Go.
I would assume it'd be
Life.
Monopoly.
Apples to apples. I don't know any popular board. Scrabble.
Nope.
It has to be Monopoly. Are you serious? It's not Monopoly?
Think older.
Yahtzee.
Nope. Older. Like old.
Chess.
Checkers.
Mackie gets it. Chess.
Yes.
Ah.
All right. So, I'm going to offer you 4 points.
You get nothing. Don't be. No. I will not agree to anything that you say.
Okay, then I've won.
Oh.
Then I've won.
That's fine.
Really? You're gonna go with
Really?
that?
Tit for tat is the best strategy.
It's a functional strategy now, but I mean, hey, I'm offering you a piece of.
No,
Piece
I
of
will
the
not
pie.
accept it.
He's
I
offering
am
you
too prideful and
4.
stubborn. I
I'm
don't
offering you
care,
4.
Keegan. Nope, nothing. Nothing.
Wow.
Nothing. There better be a lot of questions.
So Mackie, you better be maybe more generous next time. I don't
Well,
know.
I'm on top right now.
All right.
I can't give her
question,
more.
Question 6.
Okay.
This game comes in traditional, American, and Chinese versions, among many others. Go.
Trivial Pursuit.
Checkers.
Mackie gets it. Checkers.
Okay, well, here we are again.
Mm-hmm.
What is the point score right now, Keegan?
17 to 13.
Okay. I'm going to offer you 6.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because there's bad blood.
It's reparations.
I will accept our standard fare, and that's it.
You want to take 7 and 3?
I want to take 3 instead.
All right.
Are you okay with that?
That's fine. We'll do 7 and 3.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay. Question 7. This card game, is named after a human feat of architecture.
Bridge.
Mackie gets it.
Damn.
Okay, well. You want to go 3 and 7 again, or do you want a little bit more? Because I'm willing to offer you 4 rather than 3.
Well, I think I've lost at this point, so I will accept your generous offer.
All right. You're accepting it?
No, he's going to end it at 8.
You think
so
he's
what is it?
Yes.
She's taking 4.
She's taking 4.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Question 8. Blank. Dos. Tres. Go.
Uno.
Alyssa gets it.
Sorry, I can't wait. I don't know why. I'm sorry.
It's fine. You took it. I totally wasn't there. I was on the other side of the planet from that answer. I don't know what's wrong with me, but that should have been obvious.
So what's the score right now, Keegan?
The score is 30-20.
So you have a considerable lead, Mackie.
Considerable. So if it's not ending at 8, then it might be ending at 10. I would assume, because,
Or he could be messing us up and ending on an odd number. But I will offer you 3, then, if you will accept that.
Yeah, no, I'll take 3. That sounds good to me.
Okay.
Question 9. This Chinese game was bastardized into a simple matching game for English audiences.
Not Mojang. Mahjong.
Yes. Mackie is right. It's
Mojang.
I've never heard of
That's
that.
the company that makes Minecraft. Is Mojang.
No, I know. I've never heard of the game.
It's Mahjong. Yes, that's
Mahjong,
right.
yeah. You've not heard of that?
No.
I played that simple matching game for hours.
I'm much more into Mojang, I guess.
Oh, well. 5 and 5, good?
Here's my suggestion to you. If I take 5 and 5, the next time that I win, you will expect the same. We will be at a tie, and you will win. So I will accept 3 and 7, or I will rob you. And I will remind you that you've robbed me before, so it wouldn't be entirely out of tit for tat.
Rob it is.
Okay.
So what's going on?
She's robbing
He receives no points.
Nobody does.
Oh, no points. That's the decision? No points?
No points.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. This is so interesting. Okay. Question 10. This game was named for an invasive medical procedure. Go.
Operation.
Mackie gets it.
God. Killing me.
All right. So you're not taking 5 and 5?
No.
Fine. We'll go 3-7. You taking 3-7?
Okay. I think you've won at this point, so.
So, Alyssa, you're taking 3?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Question 11.
Oh, the suspense. Okay.
When you play this game, you win or you die. Go.
Game of Thrones.
Alyssa gets it.
Wait, that's not a board game.
Yeah, it is.
What?
It's also a video game. The franchise. Like you have to sell it in every way conceivable, right?
How do you turn a book into a board game?
I have
Making it
that
a TV
game.
show first.
It has to go through processing
There are
steps.
stages.
Oh.
All right, so what's the point allocation?
It's 3-7.
Is it?
You're keeping 3-7?
Yeah.
All right, I'll allow it.
You know that you're, well...
What?
Wow.
You
Uh-oh.
Oh, well...
Don't
all right.
you dare
All right,
say
I won't
anything.
say anything. I won't say anything. Just saying. You could take...
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Don't interfere.
Okay, 3-7.
Science.
3-7.
Don't interfere with your experiment.
Game over. Dun dun dun.
All
Who
right.
wins? Oh my god, I don't know the math.
I don't know it either. It could be anyone. I think it's me.
All right, so final score is Mackie 43, Alyssa 36.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
All right, cool.
There we go.
That'll do it.
That That was very interesting, Keegan.
Yes, that was an
Glad
interesting.
you liked it.
That was an interesting half-hour portion. Okay, let's let's hurry this along.
Now I can sit back and relax.
So in the spirit of Keegan's quiz, I want to go over the word quiz and some of its contemporary usage. But I want to start with legend. That says in Ireland in 1791, a theater owner named James Dolly got involved in a bet. He said that he could make a new word in his language in 24 hours and have it widely known, accepted, and used. He hired homeless children to write the word quiz all over Dublin, which at the time was, according to legend, a nonsense word. People noticed it, and because they saw it everywhere, they started to assume that it was a test of some kind, and they were very puzzled about it. And within a day, everyone was using the word to mean a test of some kind, and James Dolly won his bet. Of course, sadly, this is just legend.
Huh.
The Oxford English... I know,
No.
I'm sorry.
So disappointed.
It sounds made up,
it's
too.
such
It
an
sounds like
engaging
something...
story.
People use Q in a word where they're making up a word. That just sounds perfect.
Yeah.
True, but sadly, the Oxford English Dictionary traces the word quiz to 1781, before even the legend is supposed to take place, when the word quiz meant an odd or eccentric person, a person whose appearance is peculiar or ridiculous. A little later in the century it changed to mean make fun of, and then to regard with amusement or scorn, and it didn't take on its more modern meaning until the mid-19th century. In our time, interestingly, the quiz has become popular, and there are some giants. You might be thinking BuzzFeed or Cosmo. And of course, Cosmo has taken it upon itself to answer your very pressing questions with their quizzes, like, are you way too picky when it comes to guys?
I know I am.
I think... in that you don't pick them?
Generally, I prefer
Yes.
my guys not to have penises.
That's pretty picky. You're narrowing it down by 50%. I think Cosmo uses a pretty obvious self-esteem hit and reassurance, which is the general ploy of the magazine. But BuzzFeed has a much more interesting strategy. Personally, I think it's kind of brilliant because their online quizzes can appeal to pretty much everything that you like. But Caroline O'Donovan, writer for Neiman Lab, thinks that BuzzFeed's strategy is to create something that begs to be shared. And their formula seems to be rather simple. Summer Ann Burton, the managing editorial director of BuzzFeed from their New York office, actually has a list of how to make BuzzFeed quizzes. She has revealed that the first rule is to occasionally break the rules, of course. But she says you should also always start with the results. She says people like to have things guessed about themselves, like how long they'll live, how old they really are. Those are some of their most popular quizzes. And she says that the most successful quizzes are the ones that feel the most personal, where the answers and the results connect. So, after that, I have a very small quiz for you. And it is what I like to call the list genre. So, in the exact opposite of Keegan's idea, my quiz means that you two work together. I will ask you to list something. I will ask you to list a certain amount of somethings. And if you get 60%, if you get more than 50%, that is considered a pass for that question, and the whole quiz is pass-fail.
Okay. So we're working as a unit. Like, there's no winner or loser?
You're working as a unit.
We either
there's
pass
no winner
or fail.
or loser.
It's like
you
pandemic.
work together.
Okay. All right. Let's do this.
Okay, so this is pretty much historical, and I know that's neither of your strong points.
Yeah.
So
Let's see.
Okay, so my first question is for you to list 10 Canadian prime ministers. There are 22.
Oh, no.
Oh, gosh.
So don't complain. There
Stephen
are
Harper.
22.
Stephen Harper.
That's one.
All right. Okay.
Jean Chrétien.
2.
Pierre Elliott Trudeau.
3.
Damn it. Paul Martin?
Yep.
John A.
4.
MacDonald.
5.
Road names. Road names.
Can we
For reference, I used to be able to name them all in order, so...
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Impressive.
Not
Didn't we have a
anymore.
woman for like 2 weeks at some point?
Well, she was appointed, and it was for a year, and it's very disappointing.
Does that count?
Of course it counts.
I was the
What
other.
do you think you like?
Well, I mean, like
She did things.
Well, I mean, like the other week, I was wondering about the U.S. presidents and like if they actually counted in the numbering if the president died. And
Yes,
I don't.
of course.
Well, of
I
course.
kind of
What-
like
there's
if the president died and the vice president came up, you know.
What, you think it's like
Yeah, but they
the
became a president.
22nd
What, you just,
point
like,
two?
cross them off?
Yeah, I think it should be. I think it should be a 0.5 if that. I'm just saying. At least in terms
Well,
of.
at any rate,
Yeah.
she's a very disappointing female prime minister. We should
Oh,
have another
no.
one.
Yeah.
But do you know her name?
Jenny McCarthy.
Oh, don't say that
Okay, you're
word.
at 5. You can do it. I
Okay,
believe
5. Okay, 5.
Something Mackenzie. I know my name is in there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Do you think you can give me more than just Mackenzie? Because he's got a pretty long name.
Sir Mackenzie?
Okay, I'll give you 6 out of
Yay!
peace. And because I'm going to cut you off soon, so...
Can we name future prime ministers? Because I think I got a hunch.
Well, I'm going to cut you off, but you did get 6,
Okay.
so I guess you passed, but it's a sad pass, because that's the easy question.
How many were we
Um,
supposed to name?
10.
Oh,
And you
okay.
got 6.
Oh, okay.
So I will give you a pass. Now, this next question is maybe the toughest one, is to list 5 battles or operations of World War II. Originally, I was going to say the Western Front, but I will give you any front because I realize it's tough.
Oh,
So,
D-Day.
That was mine.
What's the
Vimy
name of
Ridge.
D-Day?
Oh.
That's First World War. What's the name of D-Day? I will not give it to you if you don't know the name.
I'm so
will
bad
not.
at this.
I feel like Flanders Field. Is that right?
Okay, wait. We
Poland?
can do this.
The Battle of Poland. Right? Poland. They had a battle.
Well, they had an invasion, which I didn't say. There's several battles of the cities, so if you want to guess.
Battle of Warsaw.
Well, it's the Siege of Warsaw, but I'll give it to you.
Yeah, that'll do.
Okay.
All right. Yes. Good job, Keegan.
Okay,
One.
how
We're
about...
almost there.
1.
Okay, how many do we have to name?
5.
What-
And
5?
you still
Okay.
didn't get D-Day.
Can you
I'm
can
very-
can you define?
That's like an operation, right? It was like Operation...
No, it's
No, it's a
something.
beach. It's like a shore or something.
it is
Is
a
it?
beach and a shore.
Yeah. No, I know this. This is in my head. Is Pearl Harbor a battle?
Yeah, that's a battle.
Um,
That's a battle. Come
yeah, it
on.
is. I'll give it to you.
Oh,
It's
look
a
at
battle.
that too. All right, we're doing right. Great.
Okay.
We just need another half, and we'll get it. Okay. Right? We got to name 5, so we have to do half.
Well, no, I will not give you half points.
Oh,
How about the Siege of London?
So I'm going
Does
to
that
cut you
count?
off.
I said Siege of London. Does that count? Okay,
Yay.
what was the
Yes.
D-Day
Get
one?
it, but I was going to cut you off. Normandy.
Normandy.
Ooh, Normandy.
Ah, I knew that.
I knew
too.
that, but I wouldn't have
So
gotten
you
it.
passed that one, but I am not.
We're pretty miserable.
Okay. The next question is to list the 7 wonders of the ancient world.
Okay, all right, here we go. The
we
Okay.
have some traction here. Hanging Gardens of Babylon,
Yeah.
Colossus at Rhodes, Pyramids of Giza,
Yep.
Library at Alexandria, sorry.
Alexandria. I'll give it to you. Wait, did you say library?
I said library at Alexandria.
Okay, well, you fail because that's not actually. It's not the library.
Or, well, Lighthouse?
Mm-hmm.
Lighthouse. Okay, the Lighthouse.
You passed, but can you name them all?
wait,
All
wait,
right.
wait. So what's
there's the Lighthouse, the Colossus, the
The
Hanging
Molosseum,
You
Gardens.
said
the
Colossus.
Molosseum of
Halicarnassus. I'll give it to you.
Halicarnassus. Yes,
It's a
I
weird
always
name.
Halicarnassus like halitosis. That's how I was going to remember
Okay.
it, but now you cut me off.
Sorry.
The pyramids, right? The pyramids is 5. There was a library.
Yeah. What about the? Wasn't there another like a statue of Zeus at Olympus or something?
Oh,
Something
is
like
it
that?
like the Pantheon or something?
Oh yeah, it is the statue of Zeus at Olympia.
Oh, there you
there
go.
you go. Nice. But there's a library, isn't
One
there?
more.
I
No,
swear it's a library.
There isn't.
I thought there was a library too.
It's
I
not.
must be confused.
It's not.
Uh,
Think very ancient civilization.
Babylon.
Very, very.
Machu
Yeah.
Picchu.
No, Babylon.
Okay, well.
No, we said Hanging
Well-
Gardens of Babylon though.
Yeah.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so wait. Pyramids of Giza.
Yeah.
Hanging Gardens of Babylon.
Yeah.
Temple. Oh,
That's the one.
that's it.
Temple of... Is it like the Oracle or something?
Well,
Delphi,
it is great.
Oracle at Delphi or something?
No. I'll just tell you. It's the Temple of Artemis at Ephesus.
Artemis, yes. I always remember that because he was such a stupid
pass.
god. All right.
I'm actually impressed.
Awesome.
Okay.
See,
So
if it's old enough, then we know it.
Yes, because it's...
You're going to hate this one then. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
List 3 World Heritage Sites found in Canada.
What?
Jeez.
There are, by the way, like 10, 15. I don't know. There's a lot.
Hudson's Bay.
Can you tell us what defines a
No.
World Heritage Site?
Yeah, that would be nice.
Well,
Because that might be of help.
there are 3 different types of criteria. Cultural, natural, and mixed.
Niagara
Okay.
Falls.
No.
What?
Um,
That's unfair.
The Canadian Shield.
No.
Can it be?
Some forests.
More specific than... Well, I mean...
Forests.
No. It's not...
The Rocky Mountains. Is it more specific than that? Mount Logan?
Well, it's not more specific than that. I'll give it to you. It's the parks, but... Canadian Rocky Mountain Parks. But I'll give it to you.
Canadian Rocky Mountain Parks. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Algonquin
Like
Park?
the national parks. No.
Are they all national parks?
Nope. Not
Or how
really.
about the Bruce Trail?
Nope.
We don't have a heritage. What is this?
Yeah, we're like super new.
We
What
have
is this
plenty of
crap?
heritage.
Yeah, but it's all new.
The
CN Tower?
CN Tower.
Whoa.
Nope.
Ripley's Aquarium.
No, think of something that might be lastingly important for some reason. Like tallest building,
Lastingly-
then there's another
The
tall
Parliament
building, you know?
buildings.
Yeah, the Parliament buildings.
No.
Something to do with women's suffrage.
Big
Sadly, no.
vicariously
And also,
Big Ben?
no, and you fail. You fail some of it.
All right. What?
Things that you might have said. Head smashed in Buffalo Jump. Historic district of Old Quebec. The Rudeau Canal. Dinosaur Provincial Park, because that's something Alberta is famous for. Wood Buffalo National Park. Lots of things.
These are just a list of things I wouldn't have said. It's like, what?
Under no circumstances would I have said any of these.
Okay, well, my next question is, list 5 Nobel laureates of literature.
Oh, no.
And don't worry, I've got Wikipedia open here. So.
There you throw in the wrench into our
I was like,
winning
this will
so
be
far.
easy. Nope.
literature. Okay.
Steinbeck.
Yes, I think you're right. Let me double check. Yes, Steinbeck.
Yes. Okay. How about Orwell?
No.
We have to think of other Russian writers.
Or you could think of a Canadian who won very recently. I mean, really?
Is it a woman? Yeah, I know, but is it that woman?
So, of course, it's a woman.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize.
Mean, really, our women get a lot more recognition than our men, which is kind of disappointing for them, but...
It's bad because...
Have they written anything scientific recently?
Catcher in the Rye writer. Who wrote that?
So,
Salinger.
I'm going to give you like 30 seconds.
Salinger.
I don't think so, but nope.
Fitzgerald. F. Scott.
Nope.
I have no idea.
Okay, so you missed Alice Munro, who is the Canadian.
Hang
Other
on,
possible
hang on.
answers?
I gotta quickly Google something. No, I do have to
What?
quickly Google something.
Like
it
where
might
she
be...
goes to school? Like...
Yeah, because I think she went to Western. And...
That is disgusting.
Hang on. Yeah, okay, she went to Western, and I read a
Plaque
biography of her this morning, as they sent it out in an email to everyone. And I was like,
Are
oh
you
my
kidding?
gosh, I'm so bad.
This
I'm
is the
sorry,
problem.
Alice Munro.
So this question will be a lot easier for you, Keegan, and I think I threw it in particularly because I thought you'd be frustrated.
Whew.
So it is list 5 famous horses, including historical horses.
Seabiscuit.
Horses.
Pegasus.
Seabiscuit, cool. Well, no, a specific one. It has
Pegasus
to be
is a
specific.
Pegasus.
You can't just start naming.
It's not a horse.
No, not happening.
I got Seabiscuit.
That's
so
a very
I'm-
subjective term. Black gold? Is that one?
No, all I'm doing is doing the Wikipedia page for this one.
Oh,
because I can.
There's-
Black gold is not one. I'm very sorry.
There's so many famous horses. It's like, what do you say?
Um.
No, I have no idea.
Fictional. You can.
Fictional.
Okay, Secretariat.
Yep.
Ooh, that's a good one. Okay.
My old house in
This-
Oshawa, all the streets around there were named
Hi
after
ho, silver. Silver.
Silver.
But serious, like, is that
Yes,
Silver's the
that's-
guess?
Yeah, hi ho,
Yes.
silver. You know.
Is it Hi Ho Silver?
No, it's hi ho.
No,
Like
his
that's
name
his
is-
command, and then his
Yeah.
name is Silver. Yeah.
Okay, no.
Whoa. I'm pretty sure he's a famous horse.
No.
What was
not
Napoleon's
accepting
horse's name?
that.
He had a horse with a name.
You're
didn't he?
thinking of Alexander Great. Alexander the Great.
Oh, yeah. What was his horse's name?
I don't know, Alexander the Lesser.
Okay, 30 seconds. This was supposed to be easy.
Oh,
Let's go.
come on.
Chop chop.
Secretariat,
You,
I have
you need
no
one more.
clues.
You seriously? Okay, you fail then.
Did Pocahontas
I-
have a horse?
Black Beauty. Black
Ah.
Beauty. Big Ben. I don't know. Name
Oh,
like
Big Ben. That should carry
Apollo's
over from
horses. Like just any Red Rum, Man of War. Like I don't know.
I've heard
I've
of
never heard
none
of most of these.
Yeah, what is this?
I heard of Black
Man,
Beauty.
What kind of previous rider are you? You could have. All right. Guess it's the next question. Sadly for you guys, okay, you're at 3 passes and 3 fails. Next question.
Really? We have
True
that
or
many
false?
passes? I'm really
that's
surprised.
pretty unbelievable.
I know.
We don't
Yeah,
have to do
I know,
anything
and you know what?
fast.
I feel bad for writing this question now.
Oh no.
True or false? Does Wikipedia have a page that is a list of lists of lists?
Yes, they do, because I was just on it the other day.
There we go.
I was looking for topics for the show, and I was like on the list of lists.
There you go.
Yeah.
You passed, but I feel like I was too generous.
Really? Well, you know, I've got a pretty easy segment. I've got a pretty easy quiz. So let's make
All
up
right,
for
good.
lost time, so to speak. So
Okay.
on my mini segment, I want to talk really quickly about Trivial Pursuit, like very briefly about Trivial Pursuit. Basically, it's a board game. You know that, made by 2 Canadians in 1979. That's when they concocted the idea. It was first off Chris Haney, a photo editor at Montreal's The Gazette, and Scott Abbott, a sports editor for the Canadian Press. But they had a really seriously tough time getting the game made, and they were only able to get the game made in 1982, 3 years after they concocted the idea, because they were having trouble finding anyone to print it, because at that time, like, printing technology was not where it is today, and like printing that many individually made like high quality cards was just not going to happen, not for any reasonable cost, that is. And you know what, like, Trivial Pursuit is an expensive game. You know, it could be $60, $80
because of the cards, right?
Yeah, so you have to make all those cards, and that's why it's so expensive. The game was released in 1982, and it became extremely popular by 1984, and in 1984 alone it sold 20 million games, which is obscene for a board game.
That's like a platinum record.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, they actually did run into some legal trouble. So do you guys know what copyright traps are?
Yes, I know this.
So
It's
a
where you put
Intuitively.
like you put fake facts in, and then
yeah.
people know type.
Yeah, so if you have like a list of facts and you put fake facts in, you know if somebody is taking your facts. So if you have 200 facts and one of them is fake, then you're not just disseminating too much false information, and you at least know if somebody's stealing all your facts. So,
and you know.
Fred Worth, the guy who wrote like stupidly many trivia games way back in the day,
He's like, when I grow up, I want to make a bunch of trivia lists.
Well, you know what? I would love to.
We're doing a trivia podcast. We shouldn't
So he
probably laugh
had
at him so hard.
he had a pretty big beef with the Trivial Pursuit guys, because he suggested that up to a quarter of the game's questions came from his stuff, and he concluded this based on, first off, the shared facts, and more specifically the copyright trap he set. So the false fact was that Columbo, a character from the TV show Columbo, was had a first name Philip, which was not true. If anything, it was Frank, but that's totally not canon. Yeah, the court then decided that this was actually an appropriate usage on the game's behalf, and since they provided so many sources for each of the questions, like here's several different books that show this, then they said they did not rule in Fredworth's favor, so they got away with it scot-free, whether or not they actually did or not. I kind of side with them on here. I don't think that true facts should be up for copyright,
No, definitely not.
Do you know what a trap road is, by the way?
It's a road on a map that doesn't actually exist to
Yes,
see if someone's
exactly.
copying your maps.
So cartographers can protect against copyright. Like if they could spend all this time actually going to the roads, you don't want somebody to take your roads. So
problems with copyright. You have to make up things to make sure that you...
Yeah, it is silly. Well,
but they don't do that anymore, right? Or I think it was Rand McNally recently declared that they were taking all of the trap things out of their maps.
It's true, yep. They did, and also, just a fun fact, I was looking on the other day to see if 123 Fake Street was a real place, because that's what I've put on a lot of documents at times.
I hope so.
And it is. It's actually a road in the U.S. It's not 123 Fake Street, but it's 123 Fake Road. I believe it's in Colorado.
You gotta change your...
So... yeah.
A whole bunch of people's mail is going to this place.
Can you imagine trying to get a pizza delivered there? No, I'm serious. I swear. It's 123 Fake Road.
Screw you, man.
All right, so I've got a new quiz. The name of this quiz is I forgot the other quiz genre I was going to do a couple weeks ago. I had a really good quiz genre, and I totally forgot. It was a word game. It was great, but I don't know what it is. Regardless, the objective here is I'm going to give you 3 items, and you are going to rank them as highest or lowest or whatever makes sense for the metric that I give you. So... it's going to make sense once I give it to you. You'll see. So the first.
So hang on. Is this competitive or cooperative?
This is competitive. So it's going to be.
Is it turn-based?
No, you guys can pick your own. Why don't we alternate? So Keegan, since you had the first segment today, you answer first, and then Alyssa will answer, and then we will alternate next turn, where Alyssa will answer first, and then you can. So you don't feed off each other too much, Okay, cool. So closeness to Africa is the first metric. So which of these 3 places is closest, and which one of these places is furthest from Africa? So, first one, the U.S. state Maine. The second one, the U.S. state Florida. And the third, the Canadian province Saskatchewan. Okay, so you're going to tell me, there's a maximum of 2 points here. You got to tell me the nearest to Africa and the farthest from Africa.
I'm going to say Florida is the closest to Africa.
Okay.
And Saskatchewan is the farthest from Africa.
All right.
My order is Maine, Florida, Saskatchewan.
So you're saying Maine is the closest? And then Saskatchewan's the farthest.
Saskatchewan is the furthest.
All right, Alyssa, you got it right. And so Keegan, you got 1 point. Alyssa got 2. Yeah, so it turns out that since the outcrop of near the top of Africa, it actually gets closer to Maine than Florida is because it goes out.
I was thinking.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
I thought that might be a trick question, but
all of these are trick questions.
All right. Good to know.
It's Mackie's forte.
Okay, so number 2. So Keegan 1, Alyssa 2. Second metric, Alyssa, you're going to answer this first. The highest surface area. Number 1, Pluto. Number 2, Russia. And number 3, Africa.
Okay, so I am going
this is
to
so
say...
funny.
Why is this funny? I don't understand.
I don't know. It's just seems like totally different worlds.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Pluto, Africa, Russia.
So Pluto's the highest. Africa, the lowest.
Then Russia.
Okay, so Russia's
the lowest.
Lowest. Okay. Egan?
See, I'm thinking this has got to be a trick, but I also can't imagine how any country could have a higher surface area than Pluto. That said, I'm not sure I know what the surface area of Pluto is. So I guess I will go Africa, Pluto, Russia.
All right. So, Alyssa, you got 0, and Keegan, you got 1. So the actual order is Pluto is the lowest.
Really?
It's 16 million kilometers squared.
Should have known.
Russia is middle with 17 million kilometers squared, nearly the same as Pluto. Wow. And Africa is 30 million kilometers squared, so nearly double what Pluto is.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So see, trick questions. Now, should you keep anticipating that? All right, so here's the third. So, third metric, the oldest thing. So, the first one, the Aztec civilization.
Ooh.
The second, Oxford University. And 3, the first Viking settlement in North America.
All right, I go first this time?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go Oxford was the first.
Okay.
And Viking was the last.
Okay.
So Aztecs were like 1500 or so. Vikings were much later than that. And Oxford might have been around in some kind of way, and Mackie could be cheating, but I'm still going to say Aztecs are oldest, then Vikings, then Oxford.
Okay, so you're saying Vikings are middle?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so the correct order is Vikings are the oldest.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
At 1000 approximately 1000 CE.
Wow.
Oh, I'm off for the Aztecs.
The Oxford is the middle, which is 1096 CE, before English came around.
I knew it was old.
In what form? There's no way.
There is a way, in that it did exist.
Okay.
The beginning of the Aztec civilization is pegged at about 1325 CE, so it is the newest. Yeah.
You suck.
So, sorry, well, Keegan, what was your guess again?
Mine was Oxford is the oldest and Vikings are the youngest.
Right, so you did get the 1 point, and Alyssa got none. So we're looking at 3-2.
What did I get right? I got nothing right.
You're saying the Viking settlement was the oldest, which it was.
No, I said Oxford is the oldest. I
Oh,
said
okay.
Oxford is oldest and Viking is youngest.
Why can't I comprehend what you say? Okay, fine. It's 2-2. All right. Fourth metric. Which is furthest south? Toronto, Ontario, Canada. The northmost portion of California. Rome, Italy. And that's the 3. So, yeah. So, which
Mackie.
one's... Keegan lost this bet once.
Oh, come on, that's not fair. Then
No,
he
it's
knows the
fair. It's
answer.
fair. Don't worry. I
Okay.
verified it.
So, I forget which way this goes.
Okay, so
I know that the southernmost point of Ontario, which is Point Pelee, is like the same as California. So I'm going to say that Toronto is the most north.
Okay.
Then Rome, even though it has the Mediterranean to warm it. Yeah, and then California as the most southerly.
Okay, so that's the northernmost
think.
portion of California, just to be clear for any of those listening who didn't hear that part.
All right, that's still my guess. I
Okay.
don't know.
Okay,
Could be
Keegan.
wrong.
okay,
Can you redeem yourself?
I'm going to go with Toronto being the northernmost
Okay.
and Rome being the southernmost.
All right. Yeah,
Because
Keegan, you got it.
I was there in Rome, and it was freaking hot.
So yeah, that is correct. They're very close to each other. But yes, we're looking at, so that was 2 points for Keegan, and that brings you up to 4. And Alyssa, you got 1, or so
Yeah.
you're at 3.
Yeah, I lost this bet.
Finally.
I misheard a fact, and I had to take a shot of hot sauce.
Oh,
You actually did it.
yeah, we have it on video.
I'm impressed.
We'll post.
You
Don't
do?
worry,
Wow.
we'll post it in the
please
show
do.
notes. All right. Yeah, and just watch for the tears too.
Before he starts doing the hot sauce. I'm
All
sure.
right, guys.
Cheers.
So, 5th question: highest population. 1, Canada. 2, Poland. 3, Nigeria. And Keegan, I believe, is first.
Okay, I'm going to say Nigeria has the highest population,
Okay.
and Canada has the lowest population.
All right, Alyssa, what are you thinking?
It's really unfortunate because I'm mostly agreeing with him, especially because Poland was just decimated. Canada's pretty low. Then again, seeing as Keegan took my perfect
You
answer,
can agree
I will
if you
argue
want.
that Canada has the most population, then Nigeria, then Poland, just to be a stick in the mud.
Okay, Keegan gets 2 points.
Yay!
Yeah.
Keegan.
So the numbers are 35 million for Canada. Poland has 38 million. And
very close.
Nigeria has 173 million. All right. Well, so, guys, this is actually the last metric. So, the most doctors per person. It's actually per 1,000 people, but... Yeah. So,
yeah, I got
okay, so, most doctors. Number 1, New Zealand. Number 2, Cuba. And number 3, Sri Lanka.
So it's my turn to answer this. So Cuba has the most.
Okay.
Then New Zealand or Sri Lanka? I don't know why that's tough.
Because you probably don't know much about Sri Lankan politics, because very few people do.
I think I know more about it than New Zealand, though. Cuba, I know, it's weird. Cuba, New Zealand, then Sri Lanka. That's
okay.
my answer.
Okay, I will say Cuba has the most as well. And Alyssa, you said Sri Lanka has the least?
Yes.
I'm going to say New Zealand has the least.
All right, Keegan gets 1 point, Alyssa gets 2. So, yeah, so she was right. Yeah, so what we've got here is per 1,000 people, New Zealand has 2.7 doctors. Cuba has 6.7, and Sri Lanka has 0.5. Canada, actually, just for side fact, hey, do you guys know what Canada is, by any chance? If you knowing those numbers, what do you think?
No, actually, 2.
4.
2. 2 whole
4?
Doctors.
Canada is exactly 2.
Really?
Yeah, 2 is it.
Do I get bonus points, Mackie? I feel like I deserve
You
bonus.
can have 1 bonus point because it doesn't change the
results.
results.
I lost pretty hard. Yeah.
All right. So 7-6 then. So Keegan won, but the U.S. happens to have 2.4 per person. But yeah. So.
But their
I
healthcare
guess
system
that's
sucks.
The end
so
of the quiz.
Well.
Shots fired.
It also happens to be the end of the show. So email your comments and questions to mindthegaphosts@gmail.com. Our next show will be an end of season special. Wait, no, it will not be. Our next
This
show will
is
start
our
off our
season
next season.
break,
We don't have
so-
a title for it yet. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. We're gonna have a season break for a while. We'll be back. We'll let you know if you are checking us out on YouTube, iTunes, Double Twist, or the podcast feed of your choice. Make sure you also subscribe there so you know when we come back. Like or rate us depending on your platform, and thank you very much for listening.